Greetings and good evening. Welcome to the Roundtable, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Tuesday, September the 23rd, 2025. Bonus welcome. I am Drew, and I'm one of the two co-hosts of the best live sports talk show all across the internet in 2025. Welcome to week 3 of the NFL. Welcome to week 4 of the NCAA. Let us get into a phenomenal recap show. Looking forward to this discussion. Looking forward to having this dialogue with my man Griff. Before I bring Griff on, I want to give a special shout out to everyone joining us on TikTok Live, joining us on Facebook Live, and joining us on YouTube Live. Thank you for taking a couple of minutes out of your busy evening to share with myself and my brother Griff as we recap these big games this past weekend. Brother Griff, how are we doing on this fine Tuesday evening, good sir?
Hey man, I'm doing good, man. Look, I took a huge L this week. I know we was coming here to talk about it, and I've been looking forward to that. But I know that I can deflect with the game from last night. That'll take a little heat off of what took place to me on Sunday. But man, I've been looking forward to having this conversation. I look forward to having these conversations every Tuesday and Friday evening. And I thank everybody for joining us.
Yes, sir. Let us get into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we last met on Friday night, we talked about the big games of the weekend, both on the collegiate level and as well as on the NFL level. And I made mention that the biggest game of the weekend was the last game of the weekend, Monday Night Football between the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions. Both of these two teams coming in to the game 1-1 after 2 games. Both of them have the possibility, the probability, and a good chance of actually making it to the Super Bowl to represent their respective conferences. And this was an early season matchup that not only were NFL fans looking forward to, but just sports fans in general to make sure that, hey, if I'm going to ride with this team, whether it be the 3-1-3 out of the Detroit area, what up, though, or the Be More Ravens, I want to make sure that my squad can win the big game. Lamar Jackson has a phenomenal record against the NFC throughout his career. Lamar Jackson has a phenomenal record on Monday night or primetime games for that matter. He usually shines. Last I checked prior to this game, he came into this game with 25 touchdowns, passing touchdowns, no interceptions, and an additional 6 or 7 running touchdowns. Going up against a Detroit Lions team that is sometimes suspect on defense, but you know that you can count on that offense to put up at least 35 to 38 points consistently to ensure that they have a puncher's chance to not only win the game, but win the game comfortably depending on who they're playing and at what time of the year. And of course, you have a coach that is not scared to go for on 4th down and 53 if given the opportunity in Dan Campbell. So you knew the Detroit Lions was coming to play. This was not going to be an easy dub for the Ravens at home. And of course, the Ravens do what they do in big games, which is, this is only my opinion, Griff, jumps from the top of the show. The Ravens consistently defeat themselves. They played a game last night where they gave up so many sacks that I stopped counting after 7 or 8. I think Hutchinson took a break in the middle of the third quarter and went and took a nap. They were getting so many sacks on Lamar Jackson. They simply do not know how to call offenses in big games at the appropriate time. The amount of ease and flow that they had scoring early in that game compared to the amount of mistakes they made in the second half is just mind boggling, right? I don't understand it. What happened to Jordan's Ravens last night, Griff? Was this a Detroit Lions victory or was this a Baltimore Ravens doing it to themselves again in the second half?
No, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. If you go back to Friday, what did I say? If the Lions are able to run the ball
Mm,
and Jared Goff is not put in a situation where he got the habit feet, they can win this game.
mm-hmm.
The Lions came out there, and the score don't even tell the story because the
It doesn't.
score this game is not as close as the score might make it seem to be. The Lions was able to do what we are accustomed to seeing the Ravens do. And then it got to the point to where, you know what, Derrick Henry was taken out completely because they had to start throwing the ball to stay in the game. They had a plan and they stayed with their plan. They used that two-headed monster of Montgomery and Gibbs. They
Mm-hmm.
had sustained drives, which kept Lamar Jackson them on the sideline, and they got the defense tired. Yes, Derrick Henry fumbled the ball again, and I'm telling you right now, as much as people like to talk about it, they ain't never played running back, especially at that back end. And then if you see the way Hutchinson knocked that daggone ball out, it wasn't like he pushed the ball with ease. He punched the hell out of that daggone ball.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions had a game plan, and unfortunately, hey, how they say everybody got a plan until they get hit. The Ravens had a plan too. It just they plan didn't come to fruition. Uh, they took Zay Flowers out of the game. Didn't even hear his name last night. They shut Derrick Henry down based in the run game, and like you said, they sacked Lamar 7 times last night. You ain't beat nobody with your quarterback getting sacked 7 times.
Right, right. Now, the Detroit Lions did have a game plan. They were able to implement their game plan, but what baffled the bejesus out of me was that Baltimore Ravens defense giving up 224 yards on the ground. Montgomery had 150 yards on 12 carries, and your guy Gibbs had a cool 70 or 80 yards on just as few carries. It was pathetic as it pertains to a Baltimore Ravens defense. Jordan, y'all got a whole lot of work to do because that run defense is kaput. Put it in the garbage, send it to Cincinnati because apparently that's where you got it from. So to me, that was the big reason that Detroit was able to separate in the second half. The fumble got it. The way that players are freely punching at the ball from all angles, it's somewhat amazing that you don't have many more fumbles from running backs or runners in general, right? Because they're punching at it regardless of whether or not they are coming from behind, the side, and front. It does not matter. You have to protect the ball like you're protecting your face, even more so. What does this say about the Baltimore Ravens? Oh man, when you have all of the talent, and ladies and gentlemen, I still say it to this day, the Baltimore Ravens are the most talented offensive team in the National Football League, hands down, even above the Buffalo Bills, the Detroit Lions, the Los Angeles Rams, the Philadelphia Eagles. Baltimore has the playmakers. Baltimore is the team. And it makes you wonder, right? When you have all of that talent, Griff, but you simply just can't follow through sometimes. You just really can't drive it home. It made me think back to one of our cultural trendsetters, so to speak, where when you have all of the talent but you have to be led hand and foot, so to speak, to make sure that your talent is displayed. It made me think of, you remember the movie Life, right? Where uh, Claude and Ray thought they were going to be able to get out of that Mississippi State prison off of the talents of Mr. Can't Get Right. The Baltimore Ravens are the 2025 version of Mr. Can't Get Right. Got all the talent in the world, but man, if you leave them to their own vices, they're going to find a way to just jack it up. And I don't have any confidence in the best team in the National Football League to make it to the Super Bowl. Because, again, play calling makes a difference. Play calling makes a difference. Play calling makes a difference. And I hear a lot of positive feedback and accolades about the Baltimore Colts offensive coordinator, but it never shows in the actual big games, whether they be regular season or playoffs. I got it. He's only been there for 2 years, but
But I will say this. I will say this, and we can move on. I say this. I think that we thought it was going to be different because of how we still looking at the Lions, how they looked in the first game of the season.
no,
And I'm not saying maybe you, but I'm saying most people didn't think that they was going to see what they saw. Because even with this being said, the Ravens been running the ball at all three of the games. They had, they was pretty good at all the games. But this particular game, you go back and look, they was able to shut that run game down. And which again, beat me with your arm, Lamar, if you can. But I'm sitting the kitchen sink in. And the Lions prove to people, hey, yeah, we got the brakes beat off us in the first game of the season, but that's not who we are. And they look like the team that who we thought was going to the Super Bowl last year. So more to follow, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
So before we move on, and I know we're going to move on, I got to throw this Derrick Henry question to you, and for Jordan too. Derrick Henry, 6'5", 6'4", 250 pounds of pure muscle, can run up to 21, 22 miles per hour, has the ability to separate from, and I saw this graphic or this analysis done up on the game on Monday night from the time that he steps his first step in the backfield, 7 yards back to the time he hits the scrimmage line, he's at 10 plus miles per hour, 11 miles per hour. Why in the hell can't y'all score from the 1 yard line?
It don't make sense. It don't, man. It don't. It don't make sense. And that is play calling. It comes to play call. And me, it's no team in the league that if you ran the ball with Derrick Henry 4 times in a row, it's no team in the league gonna stop him 4 times. I'm sorry. No team in the league. But they problem ain't on the offensive side of the ball. As much as people want to pimp, the problem is on the other side of that ball.
No, yeah, you're right.
That defense, man. I mean, and I know Karen said you was missing 3 players on the defense, but sis, there's a whole bunch of other teams that's missing people too. That's why That's why it's called next man up, and that's what coaching. When you missing people, that's what coaching come into play, and you put the players that you do have in the right position to be able to do this. Man, it just looked awful last night. That's all.
It looked terrible. It looked terrible. I have zero confidence in John Harbaugh and the coaching staff to have them in a situation because they're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to win their division. They're going to host a playoff game. They're most likely going to face either Buffalo or the Chargers in the divisional round game and have to get over that hump to make it to the AFC Championship or Super Bowl. I don't have that confidence in them, though. The talent is the talent. You can't deny that, both on the offensive side and the defensive side. As terrible as they were last year at the beginning of the year, the second half of the season, that was a completely different Baltimore defensive team. And like Karen mentioned, once we get healthy, we shall improve. And Detroit is a phenomenal run team. I'm not taking anything away from them. It's just that was the first time you've seen a Baltimore Ravens defense team look as bad as it did in the past decade. I mean, flashes of Ed Reed and Ray Lewis just all even going way back to Tony Saragusa. Like, come on, man. But anyway, we'll see how the Ravens look in the upcoming weeks. All right, let us move on to another big game that happened on Sunday, where you had the Los Angeles Rams traveling to Lynx Field to take on the defending Super Bowl champion, the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles fly. Fred, Adrian, and all of you other Eagles fans out there in the chat. And this game showed me that I'm right when I say just because we don't doesn't mean we can't. This was the tale of 2 different games in the 2 different halves. How Los Angeles had that success early on, but couldn't close the door. They couldn't finish the job. And when we needed to pass, AJ Brown was like, just give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball, and I'm going to show you what I can do. The Philadelphia Eagles proved that they are worthy of being an early season favorite to go back to the Super Bowl because of the grit that they have, the ability to show up in big games, because this was a huge early season game. This was somewhat of an early separation Sunday for division leaders, because Los Angeles is most likely going to, if they stay healthy, be competitive, if not a leading team in the division. What did this game show for you, Griff? Both on the early success that the Rams had and on the late game comeback that the Philadelphia Eagles showed, and what the focus should be for the Eagles going forward.
Nah, man. I mean, for me, what it showed me is both of these two teams is going to be teams we're going to be seeing in the playoffs. That's what it did for me. I As people can talk and you see them talk about it all day long about how Jalen Hurts don't do this and how Jalen Hurts don't do that. But let me tell you what he do. He know how to win. When his team need to win, he do what he has to do. He get the ball to the people that he need to get the ball to. And yes, they didn't have a Eagles running game like what we are accustomed to seeing. But you know what? That's the beautiful thing about being a winning team, and how they say to be the man, you got to be the man, and that's what they do. So that's what makes them dangerous, because you don't know which Philly offense you're gonna get, and you got to try to figure out which one you're gonna beat. Do we try to stop the run? Well, if we try to stop the run, guess what they got on the other side? They got on this end, they got AJ, they got Devontae, they got Goddard. Man, it's hard to defend. And if we try to stop those receivers, then guess what? Jalen and Saquon gonna beat us with the legs. And they defense is always gonna have them in a game. And they defense is always gonna show up when they need them to show up the most. I don't want to take nothing from the Rams. The Rams offense looked good. Stratford again, I was not expecting the way he sat out doing all the preseason and all the storyline behind his back and all that stuff. But man, Puka Nakua, Devontae Adams, them guys look good out there. They look good. The running game, they running game was better than the Eagles' running game. They rushed for over 160 yards, man. So I see both of these teams being in the playoffs, maybe even meet each other again.
Not only will they both be in the playoffs and probably will meet each other again, depending on how Green Bay shakes out, but if I'm Los Angeles, the most confident L that I've ever taken was this L that I took on Sunday. If not for two phenomenal field goal blocks, we won this game pretty securely, right? Because the Eagles scoring that go-ahead touchdown would have kind of been mute. So you fix your interior blocking on extra points and field goals, then possibly when you do see each other again, you'll have the upper hand. The confidence is the confidence, because both of these two teams are 1-1A as compared to which one is the better. The Eagles came out on top on Sunday, but if they played again this very same upcoming Sunday, it could be a flip-flop. So I don't think that the Eagles are head and shoulders above the Rams. I don't think the Eagles are head and shoulders above the Detroit Lions. And even the Green Bay Packers, even though the Packers took a serious L on Sunday, they've shown that they can rise up to the occasion by what they did with the Detroit Lions in the opening season game. So phenomenal win for the Eagles. They have a big game this upcoming weekend against the Bucs. And what you mentioned about having that versatility to go to the passing game when needed and to utilize Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and Goddard and Saquon Barkley out of the backfield and Jalen Hurts' legs himself. It's a pick your poison on offense type of approach for the Eagles, right? We're going to take what the defense gives us. We are extremely patient as a team. As long as we don't fall too far behind, that 19-point comeback, whoo, if that was not pressing the envelope, that was pushing the envelope. All right, I don't think they want to experience that again, but that was a very, very good game, and I look forward to seeing these two teams link back up in the playoffs. And those two defenses, it is a competition between the two to see which is going to be more effective for the rest of this season. I'm looking forward to that. All right, man. The next big game that happened on Sunday was same kind of situation on the AFC side where you had two of the best young teams in 2025, the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos, going up against each other in La in SoFi Stadium, where the Chargers are looking to establish their dominance in the AFC West in 2025. The Kansas City Chiefs are no longer the team to beat. We are staking our claim to be the big dogs in the yard. And thus far, this year, they look like the big dogs in the AFC West because they've won 3 games. They've won 3 games against the AFC West. So they're already up on each one of those 3 teams in their own division. What a way to start off the season for Jim Harbaugh. What a way to start off the season for Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, and that team. Now, granted, they took a big hit in the running back field, but
I think they're going to be okay, man. Believe it or not, as much as I love my Alabama boys, and it hurt to see Najee go out, man. But I don't think they lost a step because that kid Hampton looked pretty good. And I didn't know this because my wife asked this question, and I'm embarrassed. Do you know who they got on their practice squad who probably getting ready to be elevated?
Who?
Zeke. Zeke is on the Chargers practice squad, brother. I did not know that, man. I told my wife, ain't nobody. Zeke is done, but Zeke is actually on the Chargers practice squad. But I'm gonna tell you what the difference is in this game, honestly, because both teams play awesome defense. The Broncos couldn't convert on third down, man. They was 2 for 13 on third down. I mean, they got at Herbert. They sacked Herbert 5 times, man. But Herbert again with this coach and the way the hardball mentality, unlike his brother, is different. I told you this on Friday. I think right now, as much as everybody keep on talking about the Buffalo Bills, I think the most complete AFC team right now, week 3, 4, whatever you want to call it, is the Chargers. That's the one that I ain't seen nobody that's gonna come close to them yet. And it ain't like they played no Rickers. They played against deep. The Broncos is a great defensive team. The teams that they meet, they played against the Chiefs. The Chiefs is a great defensive team. So the Chargers is gonna be something to be reckoned with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know who Miles was calling a hater, whether it was you and me for.
He's talking about you.
He talking about me. Hey, Miles. Hey, as you see, or as you say, as a senior, you call it like you see it, right? And what I see is that the Los Angeles Chargers are the team to beat at least in the first month of the 2025 season in your division because they didn't clean the clock on everybody in the division. All right, so it is what it is, partner. Man, I tell you, the Broncos, they are going to be the ultimate spoiler in 2025, right? Because they're most likely going to be a repeat of what you saw in 2024 as it pertains to the AFC West, 3 teams out of that division making it to the playoffs. The order may fluctuate. The order may stay the same. You just never know. But the Broncos are going to be that team that is going to break one of the big 3's hearts when it comes down to playoff time, whether it's Baltimore, Buffalo, or the Chargers, or the Chiefs, if they get their act together. In the playoffs, they're going to knock off one of those big 3 teams. And it is because of that mentality that you have on defense and the type of offense that I am very familiar with Sean Payton runs, where it is we are going to manage the clock. We are going to pick our options, so to speak, a very well balanced mixture of run and pass. And we're going to methodically work our way down the field while chewing up the clock, keeping your superstars off the field, and identifying those shortcomings that you have on defense and take care of that. It just so happens that he is going up against a just as formidable of a coach this past weekend in Jim Harbaugh. And I believe that the Chargers are actually a slightly better team. Both of those two teams are similar. Chargers slightly better, and at home, the way that it ended, somewhat expected. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what these two teams have for the rest of the year. The Raiders, Troy, keep hope alive. All right, man. This next game we talked about on Friday night, right? That this was a huge game for a lot of different reasons with many different subplots, many different individual storylines. How big of a game was this for Ben Johnson to get his first coaching victory at home against America's team on primetime national television, and for his young second year quarterback, Caleb Williams, to finally get a grasp of what I'm trying to lay down as the head coach and get our first victory of the season, because we are in one of the most competitive divisions and we have hopes and dreams and aspirations ourselves about having an impact in 2025. Coming in, them Dallas Cowboys that everybody thought was, man, we got one of the top tier offenses in the National Football League. Easy dub, because who are we playing? The Bears, who can't untie their own shoelaces without assistance. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Dallas's defense did what Dallas's defense does. They couldn't stop a nosebleed. My man Caleb Williams scored, my fantasy quarterback, by the way, scored 83 points and just beat Griff's Cowboys down. Griff, what happened, man? Are y'all legitimately gonna be the third best team in your division, or is that question in doubt now?
No, man. I mean, legitimately, yeah. I still think we are.
You said I still think.
Look, hey, man, hey, we are. I mean, based off of what we done, man, I can't
Hey,
even say that
confidence, my
we.
brother. Confidence.
Hey, I can't
Say
even.
it with your
Hey,
chest.
don't talk about it, be about it. I can't even sit up here with a straight face and say that
No.
we are anything other. We beat the Giants, so we still number three in my eyes. We beat the Giants, even though. But again, this game I knew it was no good the minute we lined CeeDee Lamb up in the backfield as a running back and get a straight handoff. And I'm saying to myself, why? When Javonte Williams yes, he fumbled the ball, the dude pulled the ball out of his arm, but the dude had just broke for about 30, 40 yards when that happened. You got one. I mean, you've been running the game. You leading the league actually in rush average per rush, and you stick CeeDee Lamb in the backfield and give him a straight handoff, and now he probably gone for the next 3 to 4 weeks with a high ankle sprain.
And
I
you know,
already knew it was downhill after that, and then you refuse. You refuse to come up out of that zone defense for the life of me. But I know why. Because again, I don't know if you seen, but I think I sent y'all the thing when Bubba Dub had tore up Trayvon Diggs. Bruh, Trayvon, and I understand he got an injury. Don't have him out there, man. But Trayvon, I mean, these free release of receivers just got free release. They can just do what they want to on the Cowboys, man. And that's why don't get excited about Caleb. Please don't. Because next week, he ain't getting you them points. Because he gonna play against a defense that really matters. The Cowboy defense sucks. And this is again
oh,
truth. This is a reason why you have to have pass. If you don't have a pass rush, this is when you really see how good your DBs are. And the DBs at the Cowboys, look, man, I'm about to drive up there to Frisco now and
you
suit up, baby. Because
know,
I can play just as good as they play.
dusted your cleats off, dog.
I done pulled my cleats out, bro. I done dusted off my jockey strap and everything. I'm about to go up there because it's a daggone shame.
Man, I tell you, bro, the
It's
amount,
embarrassing.
the
This is when we say coaching. Again, Eberflus would not make it through. If he make one more week, I'd be surprised.
Matt Eberflus is the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys after just completely annihilating any hopes and dreams that.
And you know this team. That's the other piece. You was just the head coach of this
Man,
squad.
I'm amazed as how you can continue to fail and still get given opportunities in the National Football League, depending on what
Meritocracy,
you are.
meritocracy, baby.
You know what I'm saying? It's
You
like
got no merit.
conversation for another day, another
Yeah.
time. But bruh, your Cowboys officially suck. I'm going to tell you, I was thoroughly surprised, as was mentioned in chat. Right, Miles said that he was disappointed in y'all for the first time in a very long time because he actually thought y'all were gonna be about something. Y'all ain't about that life.
We ain't, man. We ain't.
Y'all ain't about that life. And
We
bro,
ain't.
this upcoming weekend, y'all bet not get embarrassed because if y'all do get embarrassed and Dakota Wayne Prescott is sacked multiple times by a player wearing the number 1, 0, or 11 or anything associated, bruh, the
Man.
conversation next Tuesday gonna be very, very enlightening.
Look, Michael Parsons. Michael is about to be like Michael Parsons about to look like he had Golden Corral.
All you can,
All you eat.
it's gonna be like
Hey,
deep
hey,
back in the daggone backfield.
Joy Love about to have about because look, these teams that we didn't play don't even have the receivers Joy Love got. Hey, the only way we got a chance is Joy Love feel being like he want to give out some gifts. Because I'm telling you that
He's capable of doing that, though. He's capable of doing that.
we about to get torched. We about to get torched.
That's gonna be a fun game to watch. I'm gonna actually tune in to that one. All right, man. The
I would
next
too.
game.
I would too if I'm a Saints fan.
Hey, you gonna back up off the Who Dat Nation, bro. You saw that meme? You remember that meme I sent y'all over the weekend talking about the Saints? The Saints need to be flex to Tubi.
Man, that went down wrong. I'm talking about dusting my cleats off. All them Saints fans dusting their bags off.
Bro, you ain't too far behind us, so don't laugh too hard.
My bad, bro.
Okay,
Go
all right.
ahead,
Let us
man.
move on, man. To
Proceed,
uh,
man. Proceed.
the Sunday night game. The Sunday night game where the Chiefs coming in 0-2, going up against a 0-2 G-men team, but had a little bit of glimmer of hope based off of what the Giants offense performed or how the Giants offense performed last weekend against the Cowboys. You thought Russ had the ability to continue to cook because the ingredients remained the same, but when you in somebody else's kitchen, and that's what a defense is, you're in their kitchen and you want to cook and they're not letting you cook, then I guess the food gonna taste a little bit different. Got it? A little bit of hard on the food analogy, but the same offensive success that the Giants had on this past Sunday against a Chiefs team that was desperate for a win, who has a lot of problems themselves, but more talented than the Giants, and the game turned out in the way that you thought it would. The Chiefs winning somewhat of an ugly game where neither one of the two teams had any huge offensive success. But the amount of pressure that Russell Wilson was put under led him to making irrational throws, irrational decisions, which has led to his benching. Do you think the Chiefs kind of began to steer the ship in the right direction and kind of remain afloat until Worthy can get back and they can kind of fix what it is that's holding the offense back? But remember, they could still end up the end of the month 1-3, 1-4, 1-5 because their next few games is not nothing to sneeze at either. What are you looking for from the Chiefs?
The Chiefs still. I mean, and I know this is gonna hurt Miles' feelings, but the Chiefs still ain't showed me nothing this year, man. They played against again. Russ thought he could do the exact same thing to the Chiefs that he did to the Cowboys.
Ball,
he throwing, he throwing them hail. He was throwing Hail Marys the whole game, and he done messed around like. Hey, I should have told Jordan to get that meme from Friday, and he done got fired on his day off. My thing is though, man, why Jameson? I know. I mean, again, this social media, man, can always just in this day and age, Joker just can tell people what to do. I still think that this is going to hurt Jackson Dart more than help him. Trying to thrust him in too soon, man. That's just me. You got Jameson Williams over there that you could have put Winston over there. You got Jameson over there. He's a proven start in the game. I would love to see Jameis out there. I don't think Jackson Dart is going to be the guy that all the Giants fans have been looking for.
I mean, he's
Yeah,
going to give them a little bit of hope and some flashes this upcoming weekend, but they're going to get beat down because they're playing the Chargers this upcoming weekend. If he wanted to kind of give him some platform to land, it would have been the next weekend when they play against the Saints.
I would have said wait till after the bye.
Well, the Saints is a bot. So,
Yeah.
but I can't believe I'm talking about my
You said it. You said it, not me.
home. Damn it, Sean Payton! I'm still mad at you for leaving. Anyways, no, yeah, you're right. It's gonna take Dart to go through some growing pains. You just hope that he doesn't get injured in the process. But it is what it is with rookie quarterbacks. You all have to go through that learning curve or that learning process. Take your bumps and your bruises while you're going through it, and hopefully, year two, you're better. Right? That's why you saw that massive leap from C.J. Stroud. No, he took that sophomore slump. Never mind. Bad analogy.
Yeah, I was about to say, man.
Bad
CJ
analogy.
a junior now, man. He
Well,
a
no, he
junior.
still got his team to the playoffs. It just wasn't a phenomenal
Yeah.
season like his rookie year. All right, but we'll see if the Chiefs can actually make some noise, Miles, and get back to the glory days before and or after Worthy gets back and is hopefully able to get that off.
Yeah, and then have Rice back too. They'll have Rice back in a couple
Yeah,
of weeks.
yeah. All right, man. Let us move on to another interesting game where subplot this, subplot that. Which team was going to have a larger impact at Foxborough? Aaron Rodgers leading the Pittsburgh Steelers that has impressed absolutely no one thus far this year into Foxborough to take on a New England Patriots team that many people think are on the uptick. I picked the home team to steal a close victory. I am not surprised that the Pittsburgh Steelers won, but at the same time, I'm a little surprised as to how effective their defense played and had a big turnaround from week 2 to week 3. What did you take away from this game if you had an opportunity to kind of review it?
That the Patriots is a very good team. That's what I review because I didn't see none. And Melissa's on here now. And she said move forward too because this game right here. If you talk about Christmas in September, the Patriots fumbled the ball 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Fumbled the ball 5 times. Threw an interception, and they still was in the game the whole game because the Steelers didn't show me nothing on the offensive side of the ball. The if you go look at the stat line, man, the Patriots beat the Steelers in every area except for on the score. 369 yards passing compared to 369 total yards compared to 203 from the Steelers. And I could see if some of these fumbles was forced fumbles, but hell, some of these balls just wasn't nobody even around the guys and they was fumbling the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So man, it fumbled twice in the red zone. Come on, man. Yeah. I think that the Patriots is going to be a team here. I give Vrabel his squad probably mid-season. They might even mess around and be a wild card in the playoffs. I think we'll see that, man. They get it because like I told you, I picked the Patriots too. I like Drake May. Look pretty good to me, man. They just couldn't hold on to the ball for nothing this week.
Yeah. This past weekend was turnover weekend all across the NFL,
Not
and
like the Patriots though. This game right here, bro. When you fumble the ball 5 times,
yeah. Well, I mean, perfect example of you did it to yourself even at home. So hopefully they can correct that. I don't foresee them making it to the playoffs as a wild card team. There are simply too many good teams in the AFC, especially on the left coast. But we
clock
shall
it,
see, man.
clock it, Jordan, clock it.
He said, "Clock it,
You
clock
know,
it."
we already know we'll be back here.
All right, man. We can move on. I just wanted to touch on this game real quick. The battle of the backups. I was extremely surprised that Carson Wentz was able to have as much success that he had, but turnovers did help that as well. Everybody was turning it over this past weekend. Nobody wanted that hot potato, which led to this lopsided score. I thought Browning and Chase and Higgins would have a little bit more success. But it seems like the Vikings made that quick turnaround from that Sunday night loss to the Falcons the week before and found their defensive prowess and created all of those turnovers. So kudos to them.
They look more efficient. They actually look more efficient without J.J. McCarthy in there and with Carson Wentz. I'm just gonna keep it real. The Bengals' problem is again that hey, it don't make a difference who the quarterback. They're gonna be running for their life because that offensive line sucks for the Bengals.
Yeah. And that is extremely unfortunate, but we know where the Bengals need to spend their money in the offseason on the offensive line, in case you didn't know.
But look, we've been doing that since how long Burrow's been with the Bengals?
No, they haven't been spending their money on the offensive line. They got Orlando Brown Jr. A
See,
couple of years ago. You know, that's a
yeah,
help.
like I said with Clowney, got him a couple of years too
A
late,
couple of
bro.
years too late. Yeah, I guess. All right, man, let us move on. Enough about that game. Troy's Raiders travel to the East Coast. Why did you laugh?
Hey man, I like the way you said. It's just the way you said Troy's Raiders, man.
Them Raiders for Troy. Oh, they went and got they put up a pretty good showing, in my opinion, to be honest.
Yeah.
We knew that the Washington Commanders going into this game was a better team, even with Mariota as the backup and subbing in for Jaden Daniels. But I was impressed as to how competitive Pete Carroll's Las Vegas Raiders are. And of course, my fifth favorite quarterback, Mr. Geno Smith, is always there to represent, whether he's throwing pick sixes or whether or not he's throwing dimes to get you a touchdown. He's going to keep it entertaining. This is the question, can the Raiders actually be a spoiler in the AFC West?
You asking me or you asking Troy?
I'm asking you.
I don't think so. I still don't think so, man. Again, another team that's got their problem is on the offensive side of the ball, and it's that line again, and that's gonna be the problem. Gino got sacked 5 times I mean, that man was being abused on Sunday, and they still refuse to get that ball to the boy that they spent all that money on. Well, they used their draft on. I just think again, if you want to help your quarterback out, then you have to commit to the run, man. And that's too many of these teams, man. They try to make these quarterbacks look like superstars, but you want your quarterback to look like a superstar, you got to commit to the run. That's why Herbert looking the way he looking with the Chargers right now. Because what Harbaugh they committed to the run, so it takes a little bit of pressure off of the quarterback, man. So I don't see the Raiders being no spoiler in the AFC.
It begs the question, though, when you made the comment, too many coaches or too many teams want to make the quarterback the face, the star. I'm paying him 50 plus mil, regardless of who he is, right? The better he is, I'm paying him 50 plus mil. I'm paying my running back maybe 10, 12. If he's really good, 15 to 20. Who do you think I want to get the shine? Baltimore from the 1 yard line. I don't get it. I don't get it. So you're right. The Raiders need to run the ball more. Pete Carroll runs the ball a lot. It's not like he's opposed to it. So
Yes, he is on the 1 yard line in the Super Bowl. He was.
he
Hey,
goes
hey,
down on his
hey,
offensive
man.
coordinator.
Miles said, let's move on, man, because it's like picking on somebody that can't protect themselves.
No, we haven't talked about the Saints yet, so that's not the case. All right, but let us move on anyway to a Texas team that had a whole lot of hopes and dreams
I
coming into
told
the
you.
season. Either I told you, but it seems like they can't get right either, man. They went from sugar to shiznit in the blink of an eye, and you can't figure it out. I got it. We're waiting on Joe Mixon to come back, but it can't be that hard. It cannot be that hard. What is the
Man,
problem? You
both
have.
of these, both of these teams suck. Both
Hey,
of these.
didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you Brian Thomas was gonna make a big play for those Jaguars?
I mean, at least one of them daggone LSU guys did, because the number one LSU receiver in the league, he was one of the ones you was talking about giving the ball up over
Yeah, he
Lamar.
sure gave up a fumble. He sure did. Yep. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
man.
The Jags could make some noise in the AFC South against the Indianapolis Colts. It looks like it's going to be between
Hey,
those two teams to figure out who's going to come out on the back end.
yeah, because you're right, man. Because Miami is toast.
Yeah,
They don't. They look. It look bad down there, man. I don't even know what to say down there. But hey, Danny Dimes is doing his thing, man. Sometimes it just requires change of venue. People can say what they want. He ain't played nobody, but Danny Dimes looking pretty good. Matter of fact, I think he's the top quarterback in the league right now with his numbers and stuff. So it
that
is
is
what hey, he doing pretty good. He was on Peyton and Eli last night. So if you on Peyton and Eli, you doing good, baby.
that is the case. That is the case. So you're a big fan of watching Monday Night Football with Peyton and Eli's commentary as compared to the traditional sport.
I cannot do Troy and Joe Buck.
What?
Can't do them. Can't
Why?
do them.
I
I
thought
can't
you
do
would love just listening to Troy, just gobbling
them.
all up.
I gained respect after the documentary. I gained a little bit more respect for Troy, but I'm just not a fan. If you
Okay,
really want to watch football the way it's supposed to be, commentary and learn something, you got to watch Peyton and Eli, because they
I'm
are
gonna do that
funny as
next week.
hell, but they also teach you the game too.
I'm gonna do that next week,
I promise you, man, you would not be disappointed.
or whenever my Saints play on Monday Night Football.
You don't want to do it there because it's gonna be straight coming. I'm telling you, them two. Peyton and Eli is like watching Seinfeld, man. It's just like
Oh
that dry
yeah.
humor, but it's them two so damn funny together. And then the way they talk about each other, it's funny.
Okay. I gotta confess something. I've never watched Seinfeld, so I don't know. All right, let
Hey,
us move on, man. Let us move on to a game that I want to talk about for one reason and one reason only. Matt Jones, what's up with your guy, man? He snuck one out
roll tide.
against a horde charging Arizona Cardinals team. Can Matt Jones feel and stand in the gap until Brock Purdy is firmly back in the saddle?
He don't have no choice. It ain't like they got a whole bunch of choices, but I think he can, man. The problem is with San Francisco, they lost probably one of them. Ain't no problem. The best defensive player on their squad with Bosa for the season, man. Bosa gone for the season. Uh,
Mhm.
I told you I never bet my money on Kyler Murray. I'm not a fan of Kyler Murray. Again, not taking that from the kid, but I think. Like what they did, and they got a kicker now. The 49ers actually got a kicker now, because that's how they won the game. I think Mac is okay, man. Mac do just enough to keep them in the fight with Christian McCaffrey over there. What I'm looking to see is what the defense look like without Bosa now.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. All right, enough about this game. I don't really like neither one of these two teams. But on the Thursday night docket, before we get to Thursday night, with that being the last game that we're going to talk about for week three. Week three is beginning to paint, or after week three, we kind of can begin to apply the backdrop to the painting that is going to be the 2025 season. We know who the cream of the crop is, right? Buffalo, Los Angeles, at least right now, Philadelphia, and Tampa Bay. Those are the top four teams to me. We know who the contenders are: the Rams, the Ravens, the 49ers, the Green Bay Packers, the Minnesota Vikings, and a whole bunch of other teams. And then you have all of those at the bottom. But we begin to see that separation. And depending on how teams stay healthy, you're going to see a battle for jockeying position, home field advantage each and every game that is played from now all the way through New Year's weekend. I'm looking forward to it. It begins on Thursday night. A recap of what we just talked about, the NFC West. You have the Seattle Seahawks Seahawks traveling down to Arizona to take on that very same Arizona Cardinals team led by Kyler Murray, who you're not a fan of, to see if the Seahawks can establish some early NFC West dominance. In 30 seconds or less, who wins this game and why?
Seattle, and because of the quarterback player Sam Donald, and I like Kenneth Walker the third, man. I think Seattle is the better team between the two. That
I
was
agree.
30 seconds or less, right?
Exactly. I agree 100%. So we can move on to the most important games this upcoming weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I get so excited because when I just talked about separation Sunday in the NFL, this is where college football really starts to turn up the heat, where you have conference play, where big powerhouse teams within those conferences have to face each other in the early part of the season, in the mid part of the season, and in the late part of the season.
Hey,
So
hey, Drew,
no.
Drew, can I do this before we get into this? Because I just need to do an honorable mention for one of my guys that was on here. He done been around here. He waited for us to talk about the Falcons. So I'm just gonna say we talked about the Falcons, and then we're gonna move on. Now you can go on into college now.
Hey, shout out to your homie, man. Thank you for joining us. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. And this past Sunday was one of those Sundays because nobody in the world thought that the Atlanta Falcons were going to go to the Carolina Panthers and lay such a terrible goose egg. Not only did they lose, but they got shut out. They got shut out by a division rival. They got shut out by the division rival who hasn't won 3 games in 6 years. They got shut out by Bryce Young, who is all of 5'2", 133 pounds. The Atlanta Falcons suck.
Drew, you weren't supposed to go that deep in, man. I just wanted to give him a shout out and acknowledge it, man. You weren't supposed to
Hey,
stick the dag in it.
all right, anytime I get or any opportunity I get to give my fellow Atlanta Falcons fans some love, I'm gonna do so. All right, man. Hey, this upcoming weekend, bro, we got some college football games that are really going to entertain a whole lot of football fans. Beginning right off the top, I want to focus in on which team is actually for real. Can Oregon set their stakes down and say that, hey, all of that field night money is producing dubs over here? Can they travel all the way from the left coast to Penn State, who many people think have the best defense in the country, who many people believe are going to be one of the favorites to not only make it to the playoffs, but to be in a national championship game and possibly win the national championship? Which Big Ten school establishes that early season dominance? And what are you looking for? Don't give any predictions because we'll talk about this game, all of these games on Friday night again, and give our predictions then. But what are you looking for from each one of these two teams to have some success on Saturday night?
For Oregon, as we know, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched them much this year, but I always know Oregon got Dan Lanning and his squad gonna have a fast paced offense, and so for them, they got to be able to continue to do that. But on the other side of the ball, Penn State has to be that dominant presence that they are on the defensive side, and take advantage of their home field advantage with Oregon coming in there. If they can slow that down, then you know what? That's what I expect. I expect for it to be, if it become a defensive game, Penn State. If it's an offensive back and forth, which it won't be a back and forth offense because Penn State just don't have that ability to score at will like Oregon does. It could be a long night for Penn State.
Yeah, I'm looking for a defense to be well established for the Nittany Lions, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a whiteout in State Valley. I don't think that Oregon has had the opportunity to show how good that they actually are yet this season. Now, this is their first big test on the national stage. They're going to surprise a whole lot of people as to how well their offense is going to be able to chunk or eat up yards and consume clock. But it's going to be hard for them to get that into the end zone because Penn State has one of those bend but don't break type of defenses, where between the 20 and the 20, you can get what you need to continue to sustain yourself. But when it gets down to that red zone, that defense tightens up. And they are quick enough to not only smother the run, but to get to the quarterback in the passing game. So I'm looking for a chess match between the two coaches, and it's going to take some fourth down plays that each one of these two coaches are going to have to go for to be the difference maker. It's going to be an exciting game. Uh, Neither one of these two teams can say that they are favored. Neither one of these two teams should be considered the underdog. It is a toss-up game, no matter that it's being played in Happy Valley. The Oregon Ducks have the talent to travel into any stadium in the country and come out of there with a dub. So I'm looking forward to this game. I'll be flipping back and forth from this game on NBC starting at 7:30 kickoff to the next game, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
First,
before we talk about this next game, our biggest fan of all the teams just popped on. The day is his birthday. We need to make sure that we tell Fred a happy birthday and congratulations on all his wins this weekend.
happy beloved birthday to you, my man. Uh, One of many birthdays that I'm sure you have throughout the calendar year because that's the type of guy that you are. You have a plethora of teams, a plethora of birthdays, and a plethora of jobs. You are the true guy. Man, this next one, the first big game of the year for both of these two teams. They know each other very well. Oddly enough, this has been a pretty lopsided rivalry between these two teams here over the past 10, 15 years, where you have the 17th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide traveling to Athens, Georgia to take on the 5th ranked Georgia Bulldogs. Both of these two teams have national championship expectations every single year. So talking about the playoffs and what this game means in position or for playoff positioning means absolutely nothing. We all know what it means. It means I win this game, I'm one leg up on the rest of the competition because it doesn't set me apart from anybody, the rest of the competition, to get a better position in the playoffs. This game translates to home field advantage in the playoffs. That's all it does. And of course, SEC dominance or discussion dominance between the two teams. What are you looking for, Griff, from your Tide to be competitive enough to say that when we head into the fourth quarter, we feel confident that we are leaving Athens with a dub?
The defensive play.
Mm.
I think for me, it's my defensive play and being able to stop Georgia to being able to control the clock with their running game. If my defense can do that, which that seemed to be our Achilles heel right now. We got a young secondary, not making no excuses, but it's that up front for me. I think if we can put pressure on them and stop them from running the ball, I think we're gonna be okay. I don't look at previous records, even though you right. Alabama, when you say lopsided, it's because Alabama done won basically all of them except for one. Um, but that was then. This is now. That's what I expect to see because I know we had an offensive talent to beat this team. It's the defensive side of the ball for me.
Mm.
Troy
So,
said he can't believe he's actually pulling for Alabama.
who said
We
that?
don't. We don't need your support, Troy. He said he can't believe he pulling for Alabama. We
Yeah,
don't need it.
you would never hear that coming from my lips. Uh, how much pressure do you believe Coach DeBoer is under? Because y'all are not favored. Got it. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a great game and all that other stuff. But how much pressure is on Coach DeBoer to not only be competitive, but hey, we need you to win this game, there, my guy.
He's under a lot of pressure, man. I mean, from the minute he lost to FSU, because again, and from the minute he signed and said he was going to be the head coach of the University of Alabama, he's been under pressure
Mhm.
because everybody ain't coming behind a Nick Saban as the head coach, and so everything that he do is going to be scrutinized. But the minute he lost games last year, The one bright spot he had last year was actually in this game against Georgia. This is where everybody got excited the way he came out there.
Yeah.
And Lord knows, I'm hoping that he has the same type of game plan that he had against Georgia last year. Just don't make it close at the end and rely on Ryan Williams to make a spectacular catch and come back. But he's under a lot of scrutiny, man. He's gonna be under scrutiny the rest of this season.
Is Simpson the guy?
Ty Simpson is the guy, man, and I'm gonna
He's
be
the guy.
honest. I
He's
like
good.
it. I like Jalen Miro, man, but I just felt like Alabama would have been a more competitive team last year with Ty Simpson
Okay.
because of the receiver. Because Jalen couldn't get the ball. He the Russell Wilson of the other college last year, just being able to throw that long ball. But
Okay.
Ty is that guy, short the medium passes. That guy is dangerous. And with Bernard and all these other weapons, I just want to see us run the ball a little bit more. It hurts my heart because we let Justin Haynes go up to Michigan, and that boy been running over people. And I don't know how we let him get away. So Jam Miller should be back this week. So I'm looking for a very good game.
Hey, it's gonna be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Same time, 7:30. So have that clicker in your hand, or if you got the double screen, you're gonna have two very good games. But before those two even kick off, we have another great game on the docket. Where it is on any given Saturday, anything can happen, especially in the Southeastern Conference, especially between these two specific teams. You got my LSU Tigers traveling to Oxford, Mississippi to take on the Ole Miss Rebels. Now, this is one of those games for me that I always have marked on the calendar every single year because one, I very much dislike the Ole Miss Rebels, and I want to ensure that that game is circled along with the Alabama game and along with the Florida game. Those are the top three teams that I want the LSU Tigers to defeat every single year, and at least over the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years, this game on our schedule, other than that 2019 team, it is if you're predicted to win, you're most likely going to lose. If you are struggling, you're probably going to have a lot of success in this particular game because Lane Kiffin, love him to Christ, will take chances and give you opportunities, and does have that propensity to make some play calls that leave you scratching your head. But the Ole Miss Rebels can put up a point on a scoreboard in a minute, in a hot minute. So, can my Tigers go into Oxford and ensure that we don't come out of there being upset on Saturday afternoon?
Man, I know you said we ain't supposed to be picking teams, so I ain't gonna say nothing. But I'm gonna say this: your defense gonna have to do. They gonna have to play above. Had to say they gotta have to pay above their pay grade this week.
Really?
They gonna have to play above their pay grade. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Because we both know, like you just said, Lane is coming. Like Lane might not play no defense, but you better believe he gonna put that defense under stress. So
Yeah,
they better be ready.
yeah. And I'm looking for Nussmeyer to really get a firm grasp of the offense, right, and to have some offensive success that not only that you showed and displayed against a much lesser team last weekend, but how you gritted it out against a good Clemson team in week one, or what people thought was a good Clemson team in week one. This game is going to be an exciting game. This game has me a little nervous, but I believe even on Tuesday before we go into Friday night's pick, I'm confident about what my Tigers going to bring to the table on Saturday. Because hey,
See, well, let me tell you this, Drew. You just messed up when you said they played against a. Now, because you throw Clemson in there, I don't even think y'all got a chance.
hey,
Hey,
Dabo would say differently. We are the best 6-6 team in the country.
Dabo is the prime. He is when the book "Who Moved My Cheese" came out. Dabo is a big old picture of Dabo there because he
Big old
refused to
picture of
change.
Dabo.
He refused to change, man, and
Hey,
because he refused to change, yeah, that's what's happening right now. So why he don't want to go into the portal and get players and all this other stuff? Clemson is the pit in the pit of misery.
especially if both Florida State and Miami are in the playoffs.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Clemson gonna be hurt.
Yeah,
And Dabo, they already talking about how much it's going to cost to get rid of you. They're starting to already count their coins. I know it's 60 mil or 70 mil, but
don't worry about it. They already got him on speed dial at Alabama. Hey, the boy don't get right. Hey, Dabo, I'm
well,
telling
yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they
I mean,
already
he's
got
an
him on
Alabama
speed.
boy. I got it. Yeah, so that would be right for him to go to Alabama if the board is eventually let go because of off the field issues or non-success on the field. And same for Dabo. But we shall see, especially this weekend, how these three games play out across the country and how it impacts each one of those two conferences, both the Big Ten and the Southeastern Conference, and how we go into the end of September and into October with that momentum for each one of those three teams that win these games. So looking forward to each one of those games, man. It's going to be a great weekend in football. Before we close out the show, I want to touch on a couple of key games in the NFL for week 4. Kind of look ahead, so to speak. I mentioned at the top of the show that the Eagles will be traveling down to Tampa Bay to take on a 3-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that has won every single game in comeback fashion, where they've shown you that they can remain poised when playing against anyone and generate a late fourth quarter game winning drive to either kick the game winning field goal or to score the game winning touchdown. They did it again this past weekend. Are they good? Are they worthy of being a top 5 NFL team? Is that 3-0 record the same 3-0 record as the Philadelphia Eagles? What are you looking for in this game, man, real quick?
I actually look at the Eagles probably passing the ball more in this game because of that defensive line for the Buccaneers with Vita Vea and them. They run stoppers, and what I see, the Buccaneers gonna probably try to run the ball a lot more in this game because Mike Evans might be gone for a while because of a hamstring. But they got a Buka over there. They look pretty good. Both of these quarterbacks, they don't win pretty, but they know how to win. We can say we can laugh, we can joke, but I see this might be the first game that this season that Jalen might have 300 yards passing because he gonna have to throw the ball because they ain't gonna be able to run the ball against this squad.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game, man. This is going to be a phenomenal game. I think both Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield are going to have great games against two very good defenses. I think that the run game for the Philadelphia Eagles is going to continue to stifle itself a little bit. Although Jalen Hurts most likely will be the leading rusher for the Eagles this upcoming weekend, just based on the type of defense that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to implement. And you're right. I believe he's also going to have a very good game in the passing game. And Baker is going to figure out how to get that ball spread out. I got it. Mike Evans is out. He's going to be out for a while. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have enough offensive weapons to ensure that the love is spread. So I'm looking for a very, very good game, man.
If they get Bucket Urban involved, man, and he can run the ball successfully, which the Eagles have showed that you can run the ball on them this year.
Mhm.
Uh, it could be they use that same recipe that the Lions used on the Ravens. The best way to beat a team is to keep their offense off the field.
Yes, sir. With prime example. Next game. This is the team that has been labeled as just can't get right. This is their opportunity to get right. This is the get right game for both the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs because they both need this game to kind of thrust themselves into that elite team conversation once again, right? No one wants to go down 1-3. No one wants to go down 2 games behind my division leader, and you surely don't want to lose to the other supposed premier team in the AFC. This is a game that both of these teams need desperately. Baltimore is traveling down. Arrowhead is not that place where it's you come to get an L anymore. right? You can go into Arrowhead and knock Kansas City around a little bit if you're a better team. What does Kansas City need to do to ensure that the woes that they have had thus far this season on offense can actually be flipped and have immediate success against a defense that we just saw last night take a complete nap in the second half? What does Kansas City's offense need to do?
Man, I'm giving that ball to Pacheco and Hunt and force them to stop me. Force them to stop me. Based on after what I just seen with Montgomery and what I saw with Gibbs, stop me there. Now, if you then I worry about whether or not I'm getting the ball to the receivers or whatever. Kansas City has a good defense, but we all know that Baltimore one they gonna do some. Baltimore is successful getting. How many times did Lamar get sacked again? What, 5 times? You know, and that wasn't Chris Johnson on the other side. Chris Jones on the other side of the ball. So uh, I can see them guys coming, bringing that heat again because you know Spags love Spags. Now you want to talk about the most blitzing defense in the league. Spags gonna send them boys at him. He gonna try to shut them down. So I think honestly, Baltimore need this win more than the Chiefs because of how hurt the Chiefs are. A lot of people we can charge this to hey, well they missing this person, they missing this person, but Baltimore ain't missing these people. Baltimore is supposed to be. This is supposed to be their year. They need this game way more than the Chiefs need this game.
You are 1,000% correct. They absolutely do need this game way more than the Chiefs do for a whole lot of different reasons, but I don't even want to talk about that. Lamar Jackson is the best football player in the entire National Football League, ladies and gentlemen. That is no breaking news. That is not a uh, an astute observation for somebody who doesn't know football. We all know this. He is the most gifted, the most talented, can go from 0 to 21 miles per hour in the blink of an eye. He can break your ankles. He can zip the ball. He is the most efficient passer in the history of the National Football League. None of that is in question. But what Lamar Jackson does not have, as compared to some of the other quarterbacks that are in his contemporary, is patience. He allows himself to become frustrated. He openly displays his frustration when plays that should be successful in scoring position aren't successful. Now, he can create phenomenal highlights and extend plays for 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds. But if he does not get a hold of the emotional frustration that he shares and allows to get into his game, like it did last night when they were first to goal on the 1 yard line and couldn't score, 4 separate plays. Sometimes, as the leader, when you get the play call, you just got to let that go in one ear and out the other and call the play that you know is going to work. Take charge, Lamar. It is your team. It is not the coach's team. It is not the guy in the boots team. It's your team. Take charge. You said you were going to be more forceful, more impactful in 2025. Now is the time to show it because you definitely need this game far more than Patrick Mahomes if we're talking quarterback to quarterback comparison. If we're talking team to team comparison, the Baltimore Ravens definitely need this game more than the Kansas City Chiefs. Absolutely love that the NFL has front loaded all of these playoff teams to face each other at the very beginning of the year because it's going to separate them at the very beginning of the year. And we are all here for it, man. I'm looking forward to this game. But, ladies and gentlemen, the Micah Bowl has finally come upon us. Griff, this is the game of the weekend. I think they're playing. I don't know when, but I'm actually going to watch this game, so I'll make sure to have that time posted on Friday. What do your boys need to do to protect the GOAT of Wayne Prescott from one each missile, Micah Parsons, this Sunday?
Don't show up. just, see, hey, just go ahead and get a game to Green Bay. Because I can tell you right now, man, he gonna be on both sides. He know the tendencies of both of them tackles, man. Them tap and the tap guiding. and still we got Guyton on one side, still on the other. Pick your point. It don't make a difference. He coming in, guns are blazing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Dak don't see the pavement at least 4 or 5 times in this game.
Hey, there were many, many, many great things in the LSU 2019 national championship season. But one of my favorite is when a commentator or sideline reporter after each game would ask the coach, "What's up next for your Tigers?" 2 words: "We coming." Right? 2 words: "We coming." Micah coming, bro.
Oh,
He
yeah.
coming from the left. He coming from the right. He coming up the middle. They're gonna try to double team him, triple team him, chip block him, hold him, all of it. But if Dallas takes the approach that we're going to stop Mike at all costs, Dak is going to get hurt because you're going to leave him open to blindside hits because all of the focus is going to be on Mike Parsons. If Dallas has a shot, y'all have to establish the run. You have to establish the run. We've been saying it for 4 years about Michael Parsons. If he has a weak spot, it is against the run game. Run right at him. Run right at him. First down, second down. If you are less than 3rd and 4, 3rd down and possibly 4th down too. Run right at him all game long. And use Pickens when you can to stress the defense. Run game should be your top priority. We're going to see how this game turns out. You made mention earlier in the show that Jordan Love can give y'all a couple of gifts, but with Trayvon on one side giving up, just handing out, you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, right? We'll see whether or not your defensive coordinator can do something.
If y'all have not seen the back and forth between Trayvon and Bubba Dub, y'all need to go check it out. Look, all I'm saying is Trayvon is like a non-profit organization out there, man.
It's a nonprofit.
It's embarrassing, bro. The one play that he got his shoulder hurt. First of all, when he got burnt, it's like he went on and slipped on purpose because he knew he was burnt. Then he go make a hit and try to act like he hurt. Man, that joker don't want to be out there. He just signed. He got his check. He don't want to be out there.
Do that. Now, real talk. Dak is having a phenomenal season thus far.
Oh yeah.
You know that Michael Parsons is going to be on 99 with adrenaline. Who do you think has the better game? Dak? Just individually. Side note. Matter of fact, poll question for the Roundtable audience for Friday night show. Who has a better game, Dakota Wayne Prescott or Michael Parsons? Does Mike Parsons make multiple defensive plays that could alter the outcome if it's a tight game? Or does Dak have a 250 plus yard day passing, turnover free, and more than one touchdown to make sure that Dallas has an opportunity to win it with an 83-yard kick at the end of the game from Mr. Aubrey? Which one?
I would love for that to come to fruition. I would love for that to be the way it turned out. Dak would probably still get his 250 yards passing, but Michael Parsons is gonna have a better game.
Okay. All right. Griff said Mike is going to have the better game. I think it might just be a stalemate. I'll give y'all my answer on Friday as well with the Roundtable audience. Man, phenomenal show. I'm pretty sure we covered, he said nonprofit. I'm pretty sure we covered all of the topics that needed to be hit on tonight and readdressed any commentary in the chat that may have gotten missed. Griff, what do you have for the Roundtable audience before we sign off for the evening?
Right fast. Make sure you scan that QR code right there. Jordan just put a poll there so that we'll talk about the response from this poll afterwards. But make sure y'all scan it. So leave it up there just a little bit longer, Jordan. I want to say happy birthday to my boy Fred again, man. Love you, my brother. All jokes aside, regardless of how many teams you have, I still love you. And if you ain't got your copy, don't talk about it, be about it yet. What you waiting on? If you ain't got your copy and don't talk about it, be about it yet, what are you waiting on? You need to get your copy. And if you follow the 7-day challenge yet, because I'm looking for that too. All right. So, hey man, thank y'all again for showing up as y'all always do, showing up and showing out in the comment section. I truly appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day, great rest of y'all week, and I look forward to seeing everybody back here on Friday.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all to the Roundtable audience for joining us tonight on the three platforms that we publish our show live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and TikTok Live for the commentary that you provided in each one of those platforms and the feedback that you provided. Look forward to engaging with you all on Friday night to not only preview all of the games that we discussed here tonight in both the NCAA with those massive three games on the college football playoff landscape, but as well as the big games this upcoming weekend in the NFL. Hopefully, your teams did do well in week 3 and week 4 of the NFL and NCAA. If not, hey, keep hope alive. I know my Saints are going to get that first dub for our rookie head coach at some point in the calendar year of 2025. Hopefully before Christmas, hopefully before Thanksgiving, but we shall see. It just might happen this weekend against the Buffalo Bills. You never know. And we might get.
Hey man, I'm about to call the VA right now and let them know, man. Keep on paying this man right here. Keep on paying
Anyways, man. Hey, y'all have a great week, a phenomenal week, a safe week, and we shall see y'all right back here on Friday night to discuss all of these big games this upcoming weekend. So y'all take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. Do something nice for yourselves. Take care of your family. Be nice to your family. And if given the opportunity, please do something nice for someone that you may not even know, because it just might be the best thing to happen to that particular person on that particular day. Y'all stay safe. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be breezy.